Hi Park family, it's David. Okay, wanted to get some additional things on video here. There's a couple of trees there that are across this, that are just across the way from the Carolyn Owen Center, which is where I spend most of the time throughout the day, just working on David's Park and David City things. And I haven't had an opportunity to kind of take over the tower here on the Carolyn Owen Center just yet, but I'd like to see if I can climb to the top of that, maybe take over the entire city of Chino, California. But first things first, I'll continue to work on the things that I do each day in David's Park and in David City. And so the thought came to me today that I wanted to get this on record. Just had to do with it had to do with like certain shells and certain attractions that are set in stone in David's Park and in David City. We kind of have to create if eternity should fail type of things. You know, like if we were to have an organ or something like that, or if we were to have something on a loop, like where we put certain sounds on loops or things like that throughout David's Park or throughout David City. We kind of have to expand upon certain things. So some things we may leave on loop, but other things, like other songs or other music or other dance or other things we do with the theater in David's Park and David City should maybe fill in the gaps of different areas of life. So there should perhaps be a song to help us with just about every phase of life. And there should perhaps be a shell or an attraction to perhaps help us learn and grow and mature and develop spiritually and temporally in life. And so each attraction or each shell in the park ought to contribute to our spiritual and temporal development, and ought to refine our warfare with the devil and the devil's jerks and evil, and ought to maybe even help teach and train us to enchant and have fun and play with one another more dutifully and responsibly and with deeper purpose. So anyhow, I just want to get that on record here, and I will talk to you guys later. Oh, and here's a couple of the trees here in this area. And there's I don't know if you can see the tower there in the background. It's behind that branch. And then I had some guys here that decided to come by and hang out with me too. So anyhow, that's all for now, and I'll talk to you guys again real soon. All right, bye. Hi Park family, it's David again. And another thing too about David's Park is that it's utterly and entirely just hell on earth. Both David's Park and David City are. And so learning to have fun in hell on earth it can be kind of challenging. It can be kind of straining spiritually and temporally. So it's not necessarily very easy to have fun and play or to enchant one another when we're living in hell on earth.
Oh, sorry.
And another thing is sometimes, because of the depths of hell on earth that we're in, sometimes we may lose our hopes and our dreams, and we may become less dreamers, less lovers, less inclined to be so enchanting, less inclined to have fun and to play, less inclined to enjoy our freedom responsibly, and so on and so forth. And so, anyhow, I share some of those thoughts because with David's Park and David City, what we're really doing is we're taking the hell on earth that already exists, and we're just kind of trying to make a little something out of it. And so the best that David's Park and David City will ever be will just be kind of like a Band-Aid, that you just are putting, a Band-Aid that you're using to kind of bandage up hell on earth. So anyhow, is it worth working on? I personally believe it's worth working on, otherwise I wouldn't spend my time on it. But it really is hell on earth. And it's hell on earth almost all the time. So you really kind of have to learn to try to have fun, try to find enjoyment, and try to make something of our playtime while we have life to live and while it's still day. And see where working on those types of things gets us as we go into the future for all the rising generations. The way that we war with the devil and the devil's jerks and evil today determines the future. And so David always hopes and prays that we'll war with the devil and the devil's jerks and evil right rather than wrong. It makes the world a much better place. So anyhow, that's all for now, and I'll talk to you guys again. Hi, Park family. I'm here with Amber. She didn't want me to get her on camera, but she's one of my friends that I met over here at Isaiah's Rock. And one day she's going to probably want to come and hang out in David's Park in David City with me. And we might have to find a place where she can sit. Or maybe go on some rides.
I'm going to go this way, okay?
Bye, Amber. Alright, Park family. Oh, by the way, there's too many Park family for David to number. And so, and David's love is very fake. And so, if I call you Park family, it's because you're important to me. But unfortunately, sometimes I feel kind of generic, you know, like I call all of you Park family. But I do it with the best intentions. I try to find ways to love and serve my Park family and friends, even those that aren't necessarily, you know, immediate Park family and friends. We just kind of keep striving to love and serve God while we're at war with the devil and the devil's jerks and evil and so forth. Alright, you guys, that's all for now, and I'll talk to you later. Alright, bye. Hi, Park family, it's David. Okay, I want to answer this question for you, and this question has to do with peace on earth. Will there be peace on earth in our lifetime? And I'm sad to report, I used to believe that peace on earth was a possibility, but unfortunately, it's no longer it's not a possibility, and it just will never be. So just about the only thing we'll ever have on earth is war. War on earth in all heights and depths, and there will rarely, if ever, be moments of peace. And so it's a sad thing. It's a sad reality. It may bring tears to my eyes. It may bring tears to your eyes. I wish it wasn't so. But just because I don't believe that there will ever be peace on earth in our lifetime doesn't mean that we ought not to strive for it. We can strive for it, but I believe you'll find that it's harder to create peace in some instances than it is to do much else. And so if we can create peace on earth, that would be doing what David would call the impossible. But anyhow, I just wanted to get that on record as well. And guess who decided to join me here? My friend, the friendly neighborhood city of Chino crow. And he's up there in that tree. I don't know if you guys can see him up there. Hanging out in the tree in utter and entire loneliness. And I believe that crow up in that tree keeps to what David will call David's Park and David City zip code, which is 91710. So that is all for now. More on numbers later, and more on using the pound sign and trying to come up with new numbers to explain the inexpressible things of warring with the devil, the devil's jerks and evil, and to explain the inexpressible things of periodic victories in that warfare with the devil and the devil's jerks and evil, and periodic losses, and then periodic fun and play, and learning and growth and healing and repairing and so on and so forth. And that's all for now, and I'll talk to you guys again real soon. All right, bye.